And the Zero saga continues. This one actually wasn't so bad to get the 0, but what I was surprised by was how close the score was to 2 million. I barely hit the 2 million. Now, I don't know if that's going to be standard for something like this, but I do remember this stage from back in the day. And for some reason, some stages are just like this. The scoring is like scaled down. I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, but with some stages, I'm sure you've all seen it. For some reason, the score is just lower. Even if the turns aren't a whole lot, even if you launch a whole bunch, they just scale it down on some of them. I don't know why. And I remember this being one of those. Barrett's stage was another one of those. His Lost Chapter, and everybody hated that one, especially without Tifa. I mean, now it's child's play, but back in the day, yeah, it was like that. So I kind of figured, just go for as many launches as possible. Which, I mean, no shit. Keiss and Noctis are here. But it's a little different. I mean, there are definitely situations, especially if you're going for 0 turns, where there are launches available and you have to just ignore them so that you can either do what's ever more appropriate for turn management or try to not get killed. It's hard to explain, but yeah, in this particular situation, it was just whenever there's a launch, you take it. And it worked out. In fact, you know, I'm going to say that's most situations. Whenever there's a launch, you take it. This boss right here, if my memory is correct, is the very first EX stage boss for Global. I believe it was. That would be Kuja's event. Because remember, Global got him early. And when they released him, they also released EX difficulty stages. And this was the boss. I remember my team like it was yesterday. It was... oh god, this is way before EX weapons. It was Cloud with the 15 and 35. Aiko with the 15 and 35, and Kuja with just the 15, with a Sazh friend, because I was not fortunate enough to get the Sazh 35 in that era. It was horrible. But I won, so that was cool. Unexpectedly. Thank God for Cross Slash. This is way back before that attack was guaranteed, and you had to just pray to the RNG god that the stun would hit, and it did. So I got super lucky. There were actually a few fights back then that I ended up taking out that way, just by praying that cross slash worked. Thankfully it did. Now the challenge quest here, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, I'm going to be honest. Because I don't want to pull for Kamari or Yuna. And the only person I have fully built is Arden. Hopefully he's enough. These things don't seem that difficult though, as far as their life. They seem to go down kind of fast. I mean, maybe it's just because I am using this ridiculous team, but even for what this team can normally do, they seem to just die way quicker than normal. So hopefully that helps me out in the challenge quest, because I don't have a whole lot to work with. Did not get the Kamari LD. Didn't really chase it either. I was going to just try the free, and if I got it, I got it. If I didn't, whatever. But I probably wasn't even going to max it anyway. And hey, no offense to Kamari fans. It's just I got different plans, that's all. I know he has his uses. But I think that there are, and I don't blame the Final Fantasy X fans for this, but there seems to be a certain section of people where if you try to say something about a Final Fantasy X character, like mention one of their problems in this game, they'll kind of jump all over you. So, I don't know. I get it, honestly, because I don't think that this game has treated Final Fantasy X very well, and the Final Fantasy X fans are probably getting sick of it, so they're lashing out at people for saying true things, unfortunately. But, like I said, it's not like Kamari is without his uses. I mean, he's definitely a solid character. He's not there for damage, but neither are most tanks. But having that blind is pretty useful. A lot of JP players said that they were real happy with it, so There's that anyway. But I'm still going to skip because resources are limited and I want Edward. It's that simple. Up in the air. Now this, okay. Remember right here I did something that I don't normally do. So I have Shooting Star Plus. And instead... Yeah, see, I'm thinking about it. We opt for the Warp Strikes. I'm looking at that turn order down there. Because I wanted all these launches. See, now the launches go away. So I could just launch again with Shooting Star Plus. It's the only reason I did that. And that's the only Warp Strike I used in the whole fight, aside from the Warp Strike Plus and the Burst. I tend to do that. I tend to just spam Shooting Stars and not really worry about the Warp Strikes. Especially in fights like this, when there's two targets. Shooting Star does splash damage and sets up launches. Why the hell would you ever press Warp Strike in a situation like this? You wouldn't. Unless you're in a situation like I was just now. But in general, don't Warp Strike spam for fights like this. It doesn't make any sense. So we've worn them down quite sufficiently. I almost went for it. I came so close. But no. It would have made no sense to set up a launch behind the other Noctis because he's going to use the BT attack anyways, and you can't launch with that. So it wouldn't have made any sense. So instead, I'll just set myself up behind him and save the 4 hero supports I have left for when I can actually take advantage of them. So challenge quest, okay. I have Arden. I have Null fully built at base EX. And the other two, I have their full kits minus the Kimahri LD with none of it built. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to tackle this one. And if I don't, this will be the first challenge quest that I skip. Which I really don't want to do. But I really don't want to invest in Yuna or Kimahri. So I'm still thinking about it. As you can probably tell. I'm ruminating about what I should do. Hopefully Arden can just hard carry this one. Because originally I wasn't really worried about it because I thought that it was just one target, like when we originally got this event, but 2 of them, man. To take 2 of those back to back with characters that aren't built, it's going to be tough because I don't think that Arden alone can stall them out to the point where we don't get hit. I don't think that's going to happen. But I'll try it. I mean, I'll see what I can do with what I got, which isn't much. I'll do their boards and stuff at least. Maybe at least build those characters to the point where they're maxed out at base EX and just see what happens. I mean, Null's ready, so maybe I'll bring him. He can help with delays and stuff with the re-breaks. And probably Yuna. Just in case we do get hit with some of these, she can at least take the debuffs off. But maybe we could stall it out to the point where they only do this once, and then Kimahri just blinds them. Maybe that would be better. I don't know. I gotta think about it. And having a burst in this wave, which I didn't have here, because, you know, I went for 0, and you have to burst first with Noctis in order to do that. But if Arden can just burst this down and keep setting them back, maybe it can be done. I'd have to give it a shot. I don't know. That'll be after this. Who knows? It's probably going to be a little while before that challenge quest video is even uploaded, if it's even done. because I still, like I said, I gotta build those characters and stuff. So, it's not gonna be right away. Now, here comes Sazh. I could have just hit B, and then Noctis probably could have killed them both with splash damage, but I wanted that 2 million, and there's a launch on the right. So we might as well just launch, let these guys brave, and just build as much as possible. And then just throw all of this at this one. But I still had another LP on deck. Dude, we steamrolled this fight. We still had so much juice left, damn. That's rare. Usually it's like right on the nose. If it went one turn over, I would have failed. But this one was just a massacre with plenty left to spare. Done. And there's 2 million. All right, thanks for watching.